So arguably one of the most important things in your setup is the monitor. And in a time where there are a ton of incredible gaming monitors coming out, this one from MSI has to be one of the best ones that I've had the chance to test out. So this is the MSI MPG 271QRX, and coming in right around $800, you're getting a 1440p 360Hz QD-OLED monitor. Now the unboxing for this monitor is very straightforward. Inside of the box, you'll find a set of cables, including the power cable, USB-B to USB-A for KVM functionality, an ultra high-speed HDMI cable, a set of standoffs, and of course the base and arm for the monitor itself. Now I did ultimately decide to mount this on the existing arm that I had in my setup already, but the stand that the monitor comes with is actually really nice. Assembly is as simple as screwing in the arm using the thumb screw under the base, snapping the monitor in, and you're good to go. The stand offers a pretty generous degree of swivel, height adjustment, and tilt functionality, all while taking up a pretty minimal footprint on your desk in my opinion. And just for reference, this desk is 25 inches deep, but I could still fit a mouse pad and a keyboard comfortably in front of the monitor without everything being squished up against each other. Now in terms of design, I think this is a great looking monitor. I mean, it's pretty insane just how thin these OLED panels are actually getting these days. Now of course, the thinness of the panel aside, you still have the control box with the custom heatsink, but overall I think the design of the monitor just looks very nice. But of course the real question is, looks aside, how is this monitor to actually use? Well, out of the box, the colors on this monitor just look incredible. This particular panel is a QD-OLED panel, which I've often found to be visually better than traditional WOLED panels. And they also allow you to have a much wider and more accurate color gamut on top of accurate darker colors. To put that into perspective, this monitor covers nearly 100% of the DCI P3 gamut, so we're already at the limit of what's even possible, which is kind of insane. Now when it comes to contrast, since this is an OLED monitor, measuring the contrast ratio will just result in an infinite measurement because there's zero light coming from those black pixels. And this is just one example where OLED panels are just so far ahead of the rest. Of course, you can still go into the monitor menu and alter image settings to your liking. Here you'll find access to things like PIP and PBP, gaming features, and then probably one of the most important features, which is the MSI OLED Care. Now this is here to essentially help prevent the screen from burn-in over long periods of time, with options like pixel shifting, static screen detection, multi-logo detection, and so on. This is a great way to ensure that you're doing the most towards preserving your panel over time. Now, should you encounter any issues, this panel also comes with a 3-year OLED warranty that also covers burn-in, so they'll replace the panel at zero cost. Now, one of the biggest things that I was curious to test was, of course, the gaming experience, and this monitor did not disappoint. Moving from a 1440p 270Hz IPS panel to a 360Hz OLED panel was actually an insane change. Yes, the jump from 270Hz to 360Hz is smaller, but the extra refresh rate is more than welcome with games where I was actually able to hit those higher frame rates. And on top of that, one of the other benefits to switching to a QD-OLED panel is you get a massive leap in response time. The typical IPS panel, including my old one, will have a range of around 1 to 2 milliseconds on average to transition between frames, but this on the other hand is nearly instantaneous. This monitor has an advertised response time of 0.03 milliseconds, which is ridiculous to even think about. And this just means you won't notice things like artifacting or overshooting on your frames, but rather a clean frame every single time. And aside from competitive games, just throwing on something like Minecraft with shaders was just beautiful. And yeah, the color range mixed with the 360Hz refresh rate makes it just such a fun gaming experience no matter what you're playing. Now, as you can tell, I have a single monitor setup here in the studio, so I was also curious to see how this monitor would be for just everyday use. And again, no surprise, I was really impressed here. Since you're getting that massive color range out of this panel, I found things like video editing, especially color grading, to be very enjoyable on this monitor. Also, the semi-gloss coating proved to be really great for anti-glare and any type of lighting conditions. I have studio lights all over the place, and they often vary in temperature and color and brightness, and I noticed no real issues with glare with this monitor. Now, outside of the color benefits, QD-OLED also has much better text clarity. So things that I typically do, like reading emails or scripting on Notion, is a much more enjoyable experience all around than, say, with previous generation WOLED panels. And then on top of that, watching things like YouTube or scrolling on social media have also been really great on this monitor, but at this point, that's probably not a surprise. But one of the things I think I was most excited about when it came to this monitor was actually the built-in KVM functionality. As someone who finds themselves switching back and forth between devices pretty often, the ability to use both my laptop and my gaming PC with the same set of peripherals plugged into this monitor has been awesome. Now, to accomplish this, it's as simple as plugging in your peripherals to the monitor, plugging your laptop into the monitor via USB-C, plugging that USB cable that came in the box earlier into your PC, and then of course connecting your display cable to the PC as well. From there, you can use MSI software to set up a keyboard shortcut for switching inputs, and you're good to go. And now when you use that shortcut and you switch from one input to another, your keyboard and mouse will switch over to that device device as well. And it's just small things like this that save me so much time in the long run. And like I said, it's just one of my favorite features about this monitor, surprisingly, even with all the insane other stuff packed into it. So look, at the end of the day, upgrading from a 240 Hertz IPS panel to a 360 Hertz OLED panel is just about as insane of a leap as it sounds. I'd also argue that MSI has put this at a very competitive price point given the OLED market right now. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Of course, I will leave this link down in the description, so I definitely go recommend checking it out if you're curious. And I will always try to answer some questions in the comments that you guys have as well. And with that, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.